Last night, my husband of 11 years decided to throw the entire family in the trash. He cheated and he threw the family, the kids, the house, the dogs, everything in the the groceries in the trash. And let me tell you how I caught him. So I went to this place with my client. It's called the Soho Spa. And it is a spa that's supposed to be like a day thing. And me and my client were going to be going. My kids were going to be in school. And being that my kids were going to be in school, well, nobody really had to watch them. And my husband could just be home relaxing. I'm on my way to the Soho Spa with my client. And an emergency happens with her life that she can no longer go to the Soho Spa with me. So in that moment, it was an emergency where I had to handle it with her. And I forgot to call my husband and tell him, like, hey, I'm no longer going to be going to the spa anymore. I'm on my way home. So I didn't give him that call. I drop off my client, I'm on my way home, but I'm still just so in my mind and thinking about her situation that I still didn't even think to call him. Like, I'll see him when I get home. I pull up to my house, not thinking of anything of it because where my mind is at. And then on top of it, I'm just like really not paying attention to the cars parked out front of my house. I have street parking. I don't have garage parking. So I just walk into my house, open the door, walk into my house, go straight upstairs to my room. And I don't think anything of it. Open my door. There's a woman on my bed. A woman on my bed. And still at this moment, do I think that my husband is cheating on me? No, I do not. I think that there's an intruder in my house. I think, what the heck are you doing in my house? Get out. I'm screaming. I'm freaking out. She's butt naked. Then I hear big, huge, loud man coming up the stairs. And it's my husband. I look at him. He looks at me. I look at him. And he looks at me. And I put two and two together that he's cheating on me. So what do? What don't I do? I start freaking out, screaming, throwing things, breaking things, trying to beat her up, trying to hit him, trying to do so much. And he's trying to break it up. And she's trying to gather her thoughts. Her clothes are everywhere, so she's trying to put her clothes on. She finally gets dressed and bolts out of the bedroom. And don't you know he follows her? He follows her and leaves me there. And in that moment, I sat there on that couch, or not on the couch, on the bed, and I just like cried. I cried. And then after 5-10 minutes, he comes back into the house in the bedroom. And he just looks at me. And I look at him. And he was like, I didn't know. I just don't want to be with you no more. I don't like you. Like, I should have never cheated on you. I should have just left you. And I was like, wow. So everything just down the drain. Everything. And it was such a hard time for me. And then the next morning when I woke up from that dream, I just felt like I still can't even look at him.
Luckily for that creator, it was all a dream. But for these other ladies that we're about to see, not so much. What's up, beautiful people? You don't know, it's your favorite island girl, Jody here from the 876. And for me to the title, to the thumbnail, you know that today we're diving into some juicy, but honestly, pretty heartbreaking TikTok story times on how these ladies found out that their husbands were cheating. No, I just want to say up front, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, especially in regards to their relationship, or judge anyone's choices. We're just all here for entertainment and sharing, of course, some stories. That's pretty much it. But before you get all comfortable, guys, and grab a snack, just remember to like this video for your girl. It's an easy and a free way to, of course, support my channel. And I would so appreciate it if you just consider subscribing to become a part of the Islanders family. And you can drop some palm trees right down in the comment section to indicate same, so we can officially welcome you to the Islanders family. Let me know down in the comment section if you've ever had a crazy experience like this, because these stories are just so intense. Without further ado, guys, let's react to these moments of betrayal together. Let's watch.
Okay, so everyone's been asking how I found out that my husband was cheating on me, and so I'm gonna do a little story time. It is gonna be long. So Get your popcorn. Okay, so my husband works, or he was working 2 hours away from where we live at. And on a Thursday morning, I was going into work at 3 a.m. and I noticed that there was transactions for the strip club where he was working at. So I asked if I could leave because I was gonna go over there to see like what the hell he was doing. So I get off work and I head over there, and I get there like around 6 in the morning, and I find him asleep in his truck at his hotel. So I like wake him up, and I'm like banging on the window, and I'm like, you know what, like just give me my stuff. Like I just want my debit card and like a couple things like I had in his truck. And he like gets out and he's like, no, like I miss you, like what's wrong? And I'm like, you were at the strip club, like don't think I didn't see. So then he's just like, I'm sorry, like I love you, I went with my friends, I didn't do anything, I just drank, like it was nothing. And I was like, you know what, no, like it's cool, like I just want my stuff, like so I can go back home. And he finally gives me my stuff, and I leave, and I'm going back home, and he's texting me. He's like, I love you. Like, I'm sorry. I just miss you. Like, you're right. Like, me being away from home is, like, the reason that I do the things that I do. And so he was like, I won't do it again. Like, please, 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 please. And I'm just kind of just giving him a cold shoulder. Like, I'm ignoring him. Like, you know what? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. I'm just so disappointed because he's supposed to be working and he's at the strip club. So then I ignore him for a couple days, and he comes home and he just tries to like, I'm sorry, like it wasn't anything, like just the same thing. So I'm like, okay, you know what? That's fine. Well, a couple weeks later, that happened like on July the 18th, around there. So like a couple weeks later, it's just like constant argument. Like I just can't get over the fact like he was at a strip club and he's just doing crazy things. So a couple weeks later, he's working in Amarillo, and I noticed like things were just off. Like he was just being weird, like just normal like BS. And so I was kind of just telling myself like, you know, like he's probably doing stuff down there, and I already caught him at the strip club, so you know, like what more do I need to like see in my own eyes, just to know like what he's doing over there. And so then he comes back home for a funeral, and he comes home and he like gives me a cold shoulder. Like he's not wanting to talk to me, he's not wanting to look at me, like nothing. He just talks to our kids. So I'm like, cool, like, you know. He goes to the funeral, and after the funeral he like calls me and he's like, hey, like let's go eat at Roadhouse, like meet me here with the kids. And so I go, and vibes were just like off. Like I just knew something was up. And so we eat at Roadhouse, and then we come back home, and I'm like telling him like, I know something's going on, like you're just being weird, like just things were just weird. Because like a female knows, like when we know, we know. So then I tell him that, and he's like, no, like it's nothing. Well, then he makes an argument about it, and he's like, you know, like you can never just let anything go, like blah 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 blah. So he leaves. He's like, I'm going back to work, like it's whatever. So then I follow him back over there, and I'm like, we get there because it's 2 hours away. So he gets there a little bit before me, and then I get there and I see his truck at his hotel. So then I call him. I'm like, hey, like I'm outside. And he's like, no, like you just need to leave. Like I told you, I just need time away from you. Like you're just crazy. Like you can never let anything go. So then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then I would say like Sunday comes around and he comes home. Well, he was ignoring me that whole weekend. Like he wouldn't answer me. He would like text me cussing at me. And so then the next week rolls around and he's leaving the town he's working in and he's coming home because he's going to another town. So when he is on his way home, I like logged into his iCloud and I saw like different numbers, like random calls, like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So I start looking them up on Cash App. And a couple of them were like strippers from the club. And then one girl, I like text her. I was like, hey, like, do you know my husband? Like, I'm his wife. Like, we are not from there. Like, we live here. No, 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 no. And she's like, no, girl, like, I don't know him. Blah, 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 blah. Like, well, she FaceTimes me. And she's like telling me, like, he's a dog. Like, you need to leave him. Like, he's this, that, and the other. Like, I went through that with my baby daddy. Like, just talking like all kinds of stuff, like you just need to leave him, like I've been where you are before. So then he gets home and finally, like at 2 in the morning, I get his phone and I come to the bathroom and I'm going through like the call logs, and that same number, the girl that called me and was like, no, like it was just like nothing, like I just got his number at the strip club, like we met at the strip club. They were FaceTiming for like, one was like an hour, one was like 2 hours, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like they were just calling like nonstop. So then I go to his messages and he had like deleted the messages, but they went into like the recently deleted folder. But when I tried to recover them, there was nothing, like they wouldn't pop up, just like her number. So then I'm like blowing her phone up. I'm like, hey, like you told me like it was nothing, like you weren't talking to him, stuff like that. And she's like, no, girl, like, no, I'm not seeing him, like just lying to me, obviously. So then like I'm blowing her phone up all night because I told you I'll work at 3 in the morning. So then the morning rolls around and she's like, you know what? Hey, like, yeah, I've been seeing him. He did this with me, he did that with me. We went here, we went to Roadhouse, we went to the club, we went to the strip club. Like he picked up me and my friends, he took me to breakfast, he took me to lunch, he bought me this, he bought me that. He stayed over at my house. Oh my gosh. So then I'm like, why did you lie to me? Like girl to girl, like why lie? I feel like that's the part that kind of made me feel a little sus. Like she FaceTimed me and told me like, oh, it was nothing, like it was just a hey, like it didn't move past that. But the whole time, like they were seeing each other, like he was taking her on dates, like they were sleeping over at her house, like cuddling together, because she sent me all the messages. And she like sends me a long message. She's like, I know you're not ready to leave him, like I've been where you are and it's not worth it, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's how I found out call logs and Cash App were like my best friends. But yeah, she literally lied to me and was like, no, like I don't know him. And I think it's crazy because I literally told him like, that's my, I told her, sorry, like that's my husband. We have kids together, like we just had a baby, like all kinds of stuff. And she literally was just like, so like, oh no, I don't know him, like, which is so crazy to me. I'm like, bro, the whole time, like you literally were sleeping with him, like in his truck, like all kinds of stuff. And so that's literally how I found out. And the whole time, like my gut literally kept telling me there was somebody else, because he literally wouldn't call me, he wouldn't text me, he wouldn't call my kids, like nothing. So I deep down knew that there was someone else 100%. But yeah, I have screenshots and receipts and their messages and messages from her if y'all want to see. So just let me know. Thank you. Okay, so this is when I texted her and I was like, hey, do you know my husband? Like, this is his name, like this is his number. And she called me and she was just basically saying like, he's a dog, like you need to leave him. Like I asked for his number at the strip club, like yeah, you have a good one on your hands, like he's handsome or he's nice. She said something like he's nice looking or something like that. And she was like, you just need to leave, like I've been down this road with my baby daddy. And that was at 3:16 p.m. So then he gets home And the night comes and I finally get to go through his phone. And I see this with like her number on there. And I was like, no way. Like, this is literally like a joke. But I go to like his messages and they were like in the recently deleted. But when I like tried to recover them, there wasn't really anything. It was like not showing me anything. So then I like text her again and I'm like, are you texting him? Like, why are you texting him? I was like, what the heck? And she's like, girl, no, I'm sleeping. Trust me, I don't want him. I've already been that road. I'm good over here. Like, literally just lying, like, making shit up. Like, that shit was so freaking, like, beyond me. Like, literally beyond me. Because I literally saw calls for, like, hours long. And then I'm, like, blowing her phone up all night because, yeah, I'm, like, hurt. I'm angry, like I'm confused because she had literally told me it like never went past a hey. So then I'm like asking her like, why lie? Like literally like why lie to me? Like I'm just not understanding like why you would lie. I'm telling her like I'm so freaking nice, dude. Like so nice, so understanding. So then like the morning rolls around and she finally answers me. At 8:14, I text her again, and that's what I said, and she literally was like, girl, I have shit to say, and I'm typing it like out, like seriously, it's 8 a.m., some of us are sleeping peacefully, which like I get it, yeah, I was like blowing up her phone all night, but at the same time, I literally just wanted to know because she told me one thing, and then I go through his phone, and it's like a fucking different thing. Like, I don't know, it's just like so weird to me. And she like sent me all their messages, and see up there on the 19th, that's when I went to Amarillo because he was at the strip club. Well, that's when she got his number. He was like, you never told me your name. Like, I was fucked. I had to be at work at 7, and she was like, blah, 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 blah. He was like, I'm kind of surprised when you wanted my number. You had your mind made up that you were going to get it for sure. There's so many more messages. I'm like freaking traumatized from them. I'm just a sad girly right now, so yeah.
Well, as I alluded to before, guys, not here to judge anyone's choices, but to give my own opinion, because if that were me, I would not confront the other woman. This creator asks clearly all the right questions, but to the wrong person. At the end of the day, the other woman does not owe her any explanation. Her husband does. He's the one who made the commitments, so therefore he's the one that she should be holding accountable, definitely not the other woman. And even though he lied and all the evidence she needed, she already found in the phone, she should have just went straight to the source. That would bring her a lot more clarity and put the responsibility where it belonged, and that was to him. It's all about redirecting that energy to the real issue and getting the truth from the person who actually owes it to you. You notice how disrespectful that other woman really got? Child, let me know, how would you handle this situation if it were you? Sound off in the comment section below. Next up, we're going to dive into Annie's story, where she found out, unfortunately, that her husband of 17 years was living a double life. Let's just say people are so twisted. Let's watch.
Part 1 of my husband's 6-year affair, living with another woman, and having a child with her, and pretty much living a double life. Okay, I first want to say this entire time I was lied to over and over again, manipulated, many broken promises, isolated. He isolated me from everybody. I pretty much was in the house with the kids and was by myself. And this has been about 6 years of this. He's really good at lying. He's really good at putting a show on for people. And a lot of people are really surprised about what they're finding out about him. But here it goes. Okay, so this started last June. We were leaving for vacation. We drive through the night. It was 6 p.m. And he decided to tell me that he's not going on vacation and that he needed to tell me he has a child with another woman, but they have no relationship. It was a one-night stand. He barely knows the child, but he feels like he needs to be in the child's life. He has not been with the woman in years. He wasn't there for the birth, nothing. He had no relationship with her. And he told me this right as I was going to drive my kids overnight by myself to our beach vacation. And he was supposed to be the one driving us. So it was pretty shitty. So, of course, to protect my kids, I told them nothing. I acted like everything was fine, and I drove them to our beach house. We stayed the week there. My children cried every single day for their dad. Every day. They cried. They wished their dad was there. They can't believe he wasn't there. They were miserable. It was awful. I figured out some things while I was there. I figured out her name. I figured out a lot of stuff. That whole time he was texting me, begging me to stay with him, begging me to hold it together for the kids, telling me, he's going to change, he's going to get help, he's going to be better. Just begging me to keep us together for the kids. My kids always go to stay in Florida with their cousins the week after we go on vacation. So they typically have like a 2 to 3 week vacation in the summer. So I drove home by myself, and we had like a week together to figure this all out. So we talked, we figured it out. I told him I would try to hold it together for the kids. We were telling nobody right now. And of course, he was lying. He had a complete relationship with this child. He said he just didn't want to tell me before I left for vacation. The child does call him dad and is very attached to him. And I did meet the child that week. The next week, we told our kids, when they came back from Florida, we told our kids. They were devastated. But I allowed them to have a relationship with this child. I treated this child as my own. She was treated with love and respect, and she would come over daily. And he was telling the other woman she's just visiting with her siblings, but in the reality, he was coming home to be with his family and try to work on his family and bring us back together. So this is part 1. I have a whole summer to go through, many lies, many, many bad things. So follow along and we'll go through this together. Okay, so here's part 2. Now, I later found out that he didn't go on vacation with us because he was on vacation with her and her family and the kid. And that's just, yeah, mind-blowing. My children cried every day. And he didn't care. So, but I didn't find that out till much later. But we were not good. We were not doing well. We were putting on a show for the kids, a lot of playing outside, trying to do family time. We were doing a date once a week, trying to reconnect. And this was like a summer thing. I noticed his mental health was like declining, and I truly feel like in hindsight, he wanted me to leave him because he doesn't want to be the one to end it. He didn't want to be blamed to end it. And even though he is all at fault. And I feel like since I didn't end it, his lies had to continue. And so his mental health was declining. We were also doing like trips, like day trips with the kids. Sometimes we'd bring the kid with us. And I don't know why the other person didn't think this was weird. I would, buy her gifts. We had a birthday party for her at our house at the end of the summer. There's just so much to remember. It's going to come to me and I'll just keep posting as I figure it out. But I would say about midsummer, I realized I don't want to live this way. And I started to take care of myself. I started to work out and eat right. And I was just disconnecting from him because it wasn't worth my time anymore. The other thing is, like, people keep asking, like, why are you being so nice to him? I'm not being nice to him. It's just not worth my time and energy to talk to him. He takes no blame for any of this, no responsibility. Everything's my fault. My kids won't talk to him because I poisoned them against him. So it's just worthless to talk to him. So if I talk to him, it's about kid stuff. I'm not going to sit here and or have an argument about the past 6 years because I need to heal myself. And that's really what these TikToks are about. I have to think about a few more things, but basically that's how our summer went. We would just play every day. He was never home at night. He was working at night or whatever, but he wasn't. He was going home to his other family. And he also works a job that it could be 24/7. There's always, it could make sense, but I knew many of it was lies and I was just avoiding. So I'm going to think over a couple more things and then I'll post a part 3 shortly. Hi, I'm just doing a little update. I just wanted to make a few comments for some questions there were. One, I am not an influencer. I am not good at this. I am just trying to tell my story and heal myself. I've already had several messages from young women telling me my story has helped them realize they need to really leave their relationship, and that has been really nice to hear. And then all of the comments about my voice, I don't think you guys realize I am so dehydrated. I cannot drink anything. I cannot eat anything. I'm living off of protein shakes. And when I drink them, I'm sick to my stomach. When I drink water, I am sick to my stomach. And I'm often throwing up. No matter the red flags and the lies and knowing what was going on, I was still like, you don't want to think someone you gave 17 years of your life to is really doing this to you. That's what it is. I'm sick to my stomach every day. I've lost 10 pounds this week. It's really helping my weight loss journey. But yeah, my tongue is dry as hell because I cannot drink water because I'll drink it and I'll throw it up. I do have to work today, so I am going to be working. I do work. I work from home. I work part-time. I work only the school, like my kids' school hours. So once they are off, I'm off work. Once they get off work, and I go pick them up. So yeah, I will be working today. I will post a part 3 later. But this is kind of getting uncomfortable for me. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm going to continue the story, and I'll let you guys know what's going on.
Annie's story is definitely heartbreaking and honestly such a powerful example of how manipulation and gaslighting can keep us trapped into a relationship that feels like a lie. Imagine finding out your husband of 17 years as a whole other lie, a child, a whole other relationship. That is definitely devastating. Clearly, she tried to embrace the whole situation for the sake of keeping her family together. It didn't take her long before she saw the truth and that she was being manipulated all along. Too has had my fair share, and gaslighting can definitely make you question everything, even your own reality. And in situations like hers, it definitely adds to the betrayal. It's such a painful realization, but it's also a reminder of how important it is to know your worth, because once you have that down, baby, no boy can play in your face. So we dive back into her story. Here's a gentle reminder, guys, to just like the video for me and share it with somebody who you know that will definitely resonate with this content so more people can join in on the conversation. Let's continue.
Okay, I think this is going to be a part 3. I just took a shower, washed my hair for the first time. There was a whole bunch of dry shampoo in there. I have to put a little bit of makeup on. I forgot to mention, I mentioned that my kids go to Florida every year after our vacation. And then this past year, they went to Disney World with their cousins. And I think I made my ex so guilty about what he did to our kids that, and I don't even know if he feels guilt, but he ended up driving down there to spend one day in Disney with them. And my sister told me that when he showed up, my youngest son, just cried his eyes out because he was so happy to see his dad. And little did he know, his dad was on vacation with another family and his daughter. So yeah, that's pretty shitty. But So like I said, we spent the summer just trying to repair things, trying to bring our family together, trying to welcome this child into our family. That's what I thought we were doing. It wasn't working. We weren't happy, but we pushed through. The holidays, trick-or-treating. He was like, I'm going to go trick-or-treat. I'm going to go see her in her costume at her house, and then I'll come visit you guys and trick-or-treat with you guys. But he was going with his other family to trick-or-treat and then coming to trick-or-treat with us. So a lot of fun stuff like that. We went to a pumpkin patch. Like I said, we were doing weekly date nights. It was crazy. But towards the end of the year, I was ready to leave. There was too many lies, too many excuses, too many things not adding up. I did try to reach out to the other girl multiple times. I tried to text her multiple times, but the texts weren't going through. I tried to call her, but the calls weren't going through. Come to find, he blocked me on her phone. Because I found her phone number on our cell phone bill. I sent her Instagram messages. He somehow intercepted them and deleted them. And she never read them because I told her I've sent her several messages and she said he never saw them. I tried to reach out to her many times. We also had several planned meetings that got canceled over and over again because we were going to meet so she would meet the other woman that is in her daughter's life, and I was going to meet her. But it was never going to happen. So finally, okay, I was going to move a little bit too far ahead. Come Christmas time, she came to our house on Christmas morning. I had presents for her that she opened. I always make my kids advent calendars, like a little punch thing. So every morning they punch it and they open it up and get a little toy or something out of it. Even my kids are older, I still do it. And I included her in this. So when she would come over, can punch the little advent calendar and get a toy or a treat or a candy. I involved her in everything. And I recently found out that he was telling people at his job we were divorced for months during this time. So during all of this, I'm accepting this kitten. I'm trying to build our family back up. I'm miserable, but I just have to clarify. I did this for my children. I was trying to hold it together for my children. And I don't think people understand that I was being emotionally manipulated, emotionally abused, lied to over and over again, made to feel crazy all the time. I felt crazy all the time. So I think people need to put that in perspective because I was made to feel crazy. So that was all, Christmas happened. Come January, 2024 is going to be our year. We're going to come back together. We're going to build our family back. We're going to be great. It was all bullshit. Okay, I'm going to make one more quick post to just kind of clarify a couple things. One, I'm never going to talk about finances. That's just something I'm not going to talk about. I'm not sharing everything. There are far worse things he did, but for my children's sake, I'm not going to share them. That's just one boundary I have to put up. I was never, ever physically abused. Never. He never touched me, never hurt me, nothing. So that is not a concern. What else is there? Oh, the other woman, I'm not going to talk bad about her. I don't know if she truly know. I don't know. I am a girl's girl to a core. I don't talk bad about women. I'm not going to talk bad about her. I mean, I definitely have said some things that aren't great to close personal friends, but I'm not going to publicly say a bad thing about her because in the end, he was the married one. He's the one that did this. It's just doesn't matter anymore. I know I am sharing a lot of things that he did do, but I'm just sharing what I feel comfortable sharing. And I just hope that people can respect that. I didn't think this was going to blow up. Honestly, it's a terrible story. I'm living in a soap opera, but I'm uncomfortable with how much this has been seen. But I'm going to be true to my word and tell the whole story as much as I feel comfortable. And I think that's everything right now. If I think of more things, I'll mention it. But like I said, I'm not a person that's going to put mean comments on the internet. I generally want other people to be happy, and I want to be happy myself. So I will never bash anyone. You'll never see me comment a mean comment. I'll respond to things that make me a little bit annoyed, but I'm not a mean person. I'm very self-aware. I feel like I'm handling this very maturely. So that's my story for now. Okay, I'm going to wrap this story up now. Part 4. The past few months have been terrible. Still lying. A lot of leading me on that things are going to get better. Yeah, not great. And then last Monday, the girl somehow, she texted me and it came through, but I couldn't text her back. So I used my daughter's phone and texted her and told her, I think I'm blocked on your phone. Can you unblock me and text me? And then we talked a little bit about setting up a meeting. And then it got to a point where it was like confusing about the relationships. She said something and I said, I'm confused by what you're saying. And she said, well, you guys aren't divorced? And I said, no, we're married and we're actually in marriage counseling. And she said, well, I think he's been lying to both of us. And then she has not responded to me since. And I'm not trying to reach out to her because I just don't care anymore. And I wasn't shocked. And I wasn't mad. I just didn't care anymore. So that's the whole story. I'm just wrapping it up. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore, or answer any more questions. Actually, I should say I texted her once, like a couple weeks ago, because I had a question and she didn't answer. Then I did ask her a question. I did actually ask her a question today because something came up that I didn't know about, and she didn't respond to that either. But I'm not going to text her anymore, and anything with him is going to be kids only. And my divorce is starting, and now I'm just going to be healing. So the rest of the videos are only going to be talking about healing and moving on from my divorce and healing my children.
Even though it took her some time, I'm really glad that Annie was finally able to see through her husband's manipulation. Definitely heartbreaking to think about how someone was playing both women against each other, especially they have kids involved. This kind of situation only leads to more broken homes, which is sad for everyone affected, especially the children. I truly wish her the best in her healing journey because I know it takes much strength to comfort this kind of pain and betrayal. I appreciate that she chose to share her story as well, because I really know that it can empower other women in situations like this to recognize their worth and to basically stand up for themselves. Sharing these experiences can definitely spark a change and help others to find their strength, and that's definitely a beautiful thing. This is where we will wrap up with today's video. I don't know about you, but some of these stories definitely left me speechless. Relationships can be so complex, and hearing how people uncover the truth about their partners really gives you a lot to think about. Well, for me personally, if you have enjoyed today's video, guys, if you haven't already done so, remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more relatable story times like these, you can go ahead and click the up next video right here on your screen to keep on enjoying the day away. As per usual, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me once more on my channel today. My name is Jody, and I aspire to inspire. Until next time, guys, walk good.